everyone, it's Christy Wopat, and I am just making this video to kind of show you what we will be testing on in math this Friday. So this whole unit was about place value. So just to kind of refresh your memory about that, let's say you have the number 972. So place value shows us that the 2 is in the ones place, and the 7 is in the tens place, and the 9 is in the hundreds place. So we kind of talk a lot about how from when you move from the ones place to the tenth place, you're multiplying by 10, and then by 10, and then by 10. And actually in this unit, we go all the way up to then we have the thousands place, the 10,000s place, the 100,000s place. And we even did a little bit with the millions place. There are 3 basic things that they'll be tested on. The first thing is the value of a number. So on the test, they might see 7,392. And the 3, let's say, is underlined. And they'll ask you, what is the value of the 3? Well, since the 3 is in the hundreds place, that 3's value is 300. It's kind of like what it's worth. If the 9 had been underlined, that value is 90. So I'm not asking for that's in the tens place. I'm asking them to know that since the number 9 is in the tens place, it's worth 90. There is basic addition and subtraction of greater numbers. The only thing I think you might want to know about that is, let's say we have 273 minus 194. Okay, you and I learned it as borrowing, and borrowing is kind of a naughty word in math now because we use the term ungrouping. And hopefully this will make sense. And kind of what I teach the kids is, if you use place value, so you start in the ones place. So I have 3 ones, but I need to subtract 4. So what I need to do is go to the tens place. I have 7 tens here, so I'm going to ungroup one of those tens, leaving me with 6. And I'm going to give 10 ones over to the ones place. So I kind of explain it like it's a $10 bill that you're cashing in for 10 ones. And then I can do my subtraction like normal. But it's the same process. We just use a different word. The thing that the kids are struggling the most with is rounding. And as the numbers get bigger, the rounding gets harder. So for example, if I have 246,792, on the test, it might say round to the 10,000s place, or it might have, a number underlined and say round to this number. So what we expect the kids to do and what we teach the kids to do is to use a number line for rounding. So basically the first thing I do is have them come up with benchmarks. So if they are rounding to the 10,000 place, this 4, the value of the 4 is 40,000. So if it stays the same and we don't round up, then we're at 40,000. Then if they did round up, it would go to 50,000. But they also have to remember that this is actually 240,000 and 250,000. Then if they use a benchmark in the middle, this would be 245,000. And so then I'm going to ask them, where on the number line would 246,000 go? Well, it's going to go, about right here. So if it's past the middle, they round up. And if it's not past the middle, they're going to stay the same. And this number line is just, a really good way for them to get a visual sense of why they're rounding up. Before we learned rhymes, like if it's 4, go next door and touch the floor or something. I don't know. That's what the kids tell me. But it's really just kind of teaching them a rule, and they're not seeing the whole number and how it's rounded. So this is what our test is on. rounding, adding and subtracting, and place value. Let me know if you have questions.